Hello there, children. Barney the bear here. Make yourselves comfortable. It's time for a story. Today's story is Billy Bunny's Happy Hands. In the bright, sunny meadow of Whispering Woods lived a lively little bunny named Billy. Billy Bunny was known for his cheerful spirit and his love of exploring. Every day, Billy found new adventures and friends to play with. One morning, Billy woke up with the sun shining through his cozy burrow. He stretched his little paws and wiggled his nose, ready for a new day of fun. Today is going to be a great day, Billy exclaimed as he hopped out of his burrow. Billy's first stop was the meadow, where his best friend, Cindy Chipmunk, was busy gathering nuts for her winter stash. Good morning, Cindy. Billy called out cheerfully. Good morning, Billy, Cindy replied with a smile. I'm collecting nuts for the winter. Would you like to help? Billy nodded eagerly. Sure, I love helping friends. As Billy and Cindy gathered nuts, Billy noticed how his paws were getting dirty from digging in the soil. He paused and looked at his hands. Wow, my hands are really dirty. Billy giggled. I guess I'll have to wash them later. After helping Cindy, Billy hopped over to the riverbank where Sammy Squirrel was playing a game of tag with the other forest animals. Hi, Sammy. Can I join in? Billy asked excitedly. Of course, Billy. The more, the merrier, Sammy replied. Billy joined the game, running and jumping with joy. As he played, his hands got even dirtier from touching the trees and the ground. My hands are super dirty now, Billy thought to himself. But it's all part of the fun. After a long game of tag, Billy decided to visit Polly Porcupine, who was busy making a mud pie in her little garden. Hello, Polly. What are you making? Billy asked curiously. I'm making a mud pie for the big forest feast tonight, Polly explained. Do you want to help me mix the mud? Billy's eyes lit up. Yes, please, he said, clapping his hands together. Billy and Polly mixed the mud, squishing it between their fingers and shaping it into a perfect pie. By the time they finished, Billy's hands were covered in sticky, gooey mud. Wow, look at my hands now, Billy laughed. As the day came to an end, Billy's mother called him home for dinner. Billy, it's time to come home and wash up, she called from the burrow entrance. Billy looked at his dirty hands and realized he hadn't washed them all day. He remembered how important it was to have clean hands, especially before eating. Okay, Mom, I'm coming, Billy replied. Billy hopped back to his burrow and headed straight to the little stream nearby. He dipped his hands into the cool, clear water and scrubbed away the dirt and mud. As he washed, he noticed how good it felt to have clean hands. Wow, my hands are all clean now, Billy said proudly. I should remember to wash them more often. Billy dried his hands on a soft towel and went inside for dinner. As he sat down with his family, he felt happy and content. He had learned an important lesson that day. Keeping his hands clean was just as important as having fun. As Billy enjoyed his meal, he thought about all the adventures he had that day and how he would continue to explore and play with clean, happy hands. He couldn't wait for tomorrow's adventures, knowing that he was ready for anything with his clean, happy hands. The next day, the forest animals were buzzing with excitement. It was the day of the big picnic, a special event where everyone in Whispering Woods gathered to share delicious food, play games, and enjoy each other's company. Billy Bunny woke up early, eager to help his mother prepare their contribution for the picnic, a basket full of fresh vegetables from their garden. He washed the carrots, lettuce, and tomatoes carefully, remembering how important it was to keep his hands clean. Mom, can I help pack the basket? Billy asked, his paws squeaky clean and ready to go. Of course, Billy, his mother replied with a smile. Just make sure you wash your hands again before handling the food. Billy nodded and quickly washed his hands again, making sure they were spotless. He then helped his mother pack the vegetables neatly into the basket. There, all done, Billy said proudly. As they arrived at the picnic spot, Billy saw his friends already setting up. Cindy Chipmunk was arranging a fruit platter. Sammy Squirrel was setting up the games, and Polly Porcupine was placing her famous mud pie on the table. Hi, everyone, Billy called out. I brought fresh vegetables from our garden. Thanks, Billy, Cindy said. They look delicious. Billy helped arrange the picnic tables, making sure everything was perfect. As he did, he noticed how everyone was working together, each doing their part to make the picnic a success. He felt proud to be part of such a caring community. Soon, it was time to eat. The tables were filled with all sorts of yummy foods, and everyone was eager to dig in. But before they started, Ollie Owl, the wisest animal in the forest, stood up to say a few words. Welcome, everyone, to our annual big picnic. Ollie, today we celebrate friendship, community, and the joy of sharing. But before we eat, let's all remember to wash our hands. Clean hands keep us healthy and make sure we enjoy this delicious food safely. Everyone nodded in agreement and headed to the nearby stream to wash their hands. Billy was one of the first in line, eager to set a good example. He dipped his paws into the cool water, rubbing them together until they were perfectly clean. As they returned to the picnic tables, everyone started to fill their plates with the tasty treats. Billy's fresh vegetables were a big hit, and he felt happy seeing his friends enjoy them. He remembered how important it was to have clean hands, especially when sharing food with others. After the meal, it was time for games. Billy joined his friends in a game of sack race, laughing and cheering as they hopped across the meadow. He noticed how much fun they were having and how being clean and healthy made everything even better. Later, they played a game of tug of war with Billy and Sammy on one side and Cindy and Polly on the other. They pulled and tugged, their paws gripping the rope tightly. Billy was glad his hands were clean, giving him a better grip and helping his team win. As the sun began to set, the animals gathered around for a final treat, Polly's mud pie. It wasn't made of real mud, of course, but a delicious chocolate dessert that everyone loved. Polly sliced the pie, and Billy made sure everyone washed their hands again before enjoying the sweet treat. As they savored the chocolate pie, Billy felt a sense of warmth and happiness. The big picnic had been a wonderful day of friendship, fun, and learning. He realized that keeping his hands clean was an important part of showing care for himself and his friends. Billy looked around at his smiling friends and thought about how much he loved being part of Whispering Woods. He knew that with his clean, happy hands, he was ready for any adventure that came his way. The day after the big picnic, Billy Bunny woke up to a sunny morning filled with a sense of excitement for the day ahead. He hopped out of his burrow and stretched his little paws. I wonder what adventures today will bring, he thought to himself. As Billy made his way to the meadow, he saw his friend Daisy Deer running towards him, looking worried. Billy, I need your help, she called out. What's wrong, Daisy? Billy asked, concerned. It's the community garden. Some of the plants are wilting, and I don't know what to do, Daisy explained, her eyes wide with worry. Billy's heart went out to Daisy. The community garden was a special place where all the animals in Whispering Woods grew fruits, vegetables, and flowers together. Don't worry, Daisy. We'll figure it out, Billy said confidently. They hurried to the garden, where they found other animals gathered around, looking distressed. The once vibrant garden looked sad and droopy. Sammy Squirrel, Polly Porcupine, and Cindy Chipmunk were already there, trying to water the plants and check the soil. We need to find out what's causing this, Billy said, looking around thoughtfully. He noticed that some of the plants had spots on their leaves, and the soil seemed unusually dry. Ollie Owl flew down and perched on a nearby branch. It looks like the garden might have a pest problem, and the dry soil isn't helping either, Ollie said wisely. We need to remove the pest and make sure the plants get enough water. Billy nodded. Okay, let's start by washing our hands. We don't want to spread any germs or pests to the healthy plants. The animals went to the stream and washed their hands thoroughly, just like they had at the big picnic. With clean hands and determined hearts, they returned to the garden to start the rescue mission. Billy and his friends worked together to gently remove the pests from the plants. They used soft brushes and their clean hands to carefully take off the bugs without harming the leaves. As they worked, Billy made sure everyone was being gentle and respectful to the plants. Next, they tackled the dry soil. Billy helped Sammy and Cindy fetch water from the stream in big buckets. They took turns watering the plants, making sure each one got enough to drink. Plants need water just like we do, Billy reminded his friends. And clean hands help us take care of them better. Polly Porcupine brought some fresh compost to enrich the soil, and Daisy Deer carefully mixed it in. So this will help the plants get the nutrients they need, Daisy explained. As they worked, the garden started to look better. The plants perked up, and the leaves looked greener and healthier. Billy felt a warm sense of accomplishment seeing the garden come back to life. By the afternoon, the garden was looking much. The plants stood tall, and the flowers began to bloom again. The animals cheered, feeling proud of their hard work and teamwork. Thank you, everyone, for helping save our garden, Daisy said, her eyes shining with gratitude. And thank you, Billy, for reminding us to keep our hands clean while we worked. Billy smiled. I'm glad we could all work together. Clean hands really do make a big difference. As the sun set, painting the sky with beautiful hues of orange and pink, the animals gathered in the garden to admire their work. They shared stories and laughed, enjoying the peaceful evening. Billy looked around at his friends, feeling grateful for the wonderful community they had in Whispering Woods. He knew that with clean hands and caring hearts, they could overcome any challenge together. That night, as Billy snuggled into his cozy burrow, he felt a deep sense of happiness. He had learned that taking care of the garden and each other was a rewarding and important part of living in Whispering Woods. He drifted off to sleep with dreams of new adventures and the knowledge that his happy hands were ready for anything. The following week, the animals of Whispering Woods were buzzing with excitement. It was time for the annual forest parade, a day filled with music, dancing, and colorful floats. Each year, the animals chose a special theme for the parade, and this year, they had decided to celebrate the importance of clean hands, inspired by Billy Bunny's example. Billy woke up early, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. He had been chosen to lead the parade, and he wanted everything to be perfect. Today's the big day, Billy said to himself, hopping out of bed and stretching his paws. I need to make sure I'm ready. After a hearty breakfast, Billy washed his hands thoroughly, remembering all the lessons he had learned about cleanliness and health. He then made his way to the meadow, where the other animals were busy preparing for the parade. The meadow was a hive of activity. Cindy Chipmunk was decorating the floats with bright, colorful flowers. Sammy Squirrel was tuning his fiddle, ready to play cheerful music. Polly Porcupine was arranging a beautiful banner that read "Clean Hands, happy hearts. Good morning, everyone. Billy called out as he arrived. Everything looks amazing. Thanks, Billy, Cindy replied. We've all been working hard to make this the best parade ever. Ollie Owl, who was serving as the parade's grand marshal, flew down to join them. Remember, today we're celebrating how important it is to keep our hands clean, Ollie said wisely. Billy, you taught us all a valuable lesson, and now it's time to share that with everyone. Billy nodded, feeling proud but also a bit shy. I'm just glad we can all help each other stay healthy, he said. As the parade began, Billy led the way, proudly holding a sparkling baton decorated with ribbon. Behind him, the animals marched in a joyful procession. Sammy played a lively tune on his fiddle, and the floats rolled along, covered in flowers and banners. The forest animals cheered and clapped as the parade passed by. Billy waved to his friends and neighbors, feeling a warm glow of happiness. He noticed that everyone was smiling and having a great time, and he knew that the message of clean hands was being shared with the entire community. Halfway through the parade, they reached the main clearing where a big stage had been set up. Ollie Owl flew up to the stage and addressed the crowd. Welcome, everyone, to our Clean Hands Parade, Ollie announced. Today, we celebrate the importance of keeping our hands clean and healthy. Billy Bunny has shown us how small actions can make a big difference. The crowd cheered, and Billy felt his cheeks flush with pride. He hopped up onto the stage next to Ollie, who handed him the microphone. Thank you, everyone. Billy began, feeling a bit nervous but also excited. I'm really happy to be here today. Keeping our hands clean is important because it helps us stay healthy and take care of each other. I've learned that washing my hands before eating, after playing, and whenever they get dirty makes a big difference. The crowd clapped and cheered, and Billy felt his confidence grow. We all love having fun and going on adventures, and clean hands help us do that safely. So let's all remember to wash our hands and take care of our wonderful community. The animals cheered louder, and Billy handed the microphone back to Ollie, who smiled proudly at him. Thank you, Billy, for your wise words, Ollie said. Now let's continue our parade and celebrate with music, dancing, and lots of fun. The parade resumed, and the animals danced and sang, enjoying the festivities. Billy felt a deep sense of joy as he marched along, surrounded by his friends in the beautiful forest he loved. As the parade came to an end, the animals gathered for a big picnic, just like the one they had enjoyed before. This time, everyone made sure to wash their hands carefully before eating, thanks to Billy's example. As the sun set and the animals shared stories and laughter, Billy felt a warm sense of accomplishment. He had helped his community learn an important lesson, and he knew that with clean hands and caring hearts, they could face any adventure together. That night, as Billy snuggled into his cozy burrow, he felt a deep sense of happiness and pride. He drifted off to sleep with dreams of new adventures, knowing that he and his friend would always be ready with clean, happy hands. The end.